morning. This is One Patriot back again with another video. I am Burning Spirit Patriot, and I'm joined again by the lovely Libby Lioux Patriot.
Hello. Welcome back to our channel.
Thank you. And today we're going to be talking about the emails of Anthony Fauci. I refuse to call him Dr. Fauci because I do not want to give him that respect because I think, as far as I'm concerned, the guy should be arrested and put in jail for...
Dr. Fauci.
Yeah. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Frodsky, whatever. He's a fraud. He's a freaking shill for the Chinese government, and they pay him. And I don't know. I never liked this guy, and I called him out from the beginning.
You did. I gotta pause and give you big credit for that.
Yeah.
Because I think you were one of. There were other people, but you were one of the few that was flat out like, no, this dude's a rat. This dude is trash. Trump needs to get rid of him.
Yeah,
you called it.
And I was really upset that Trump didn't get rid of him, but I'm sure he got. I'm sure he wanted to, but he probably got pushback from Jared, the liberal Kushner.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about Trump and his judgment. Mm-hmm. The guy has great vision, but his judgment stinks.
Yeah.
But I digress. But, some of those things that were in the email was just damning evidence and kind of vindicated a lot of Dr. Fauci's, I'm calling him doctor when I said I would, Fauci's, it vindicated a lot of Fauci's critics, from his denial of, what do they call it, gain by function?
Gain of function.
Gain of function. Yeah. Saying that they don't fund gain of function when they clearly do. The emails clearly show that him and his organization, the government organization that he runs, clearly funds gain of function.
Yep.
These emails are damning, and it doesn't look good for him.
No. It doesn't look good for him, for anybody that's paying attention and is, engaged and following closely to the story. But, I think you even said this, like, what's going to happen to him?
I don't think anything's going to happen to him. Like, you got a lot of conservatives that are like, oh, yeah, he's going to get fired. Oh, yeah, something's going to happen to him. But they underestimate the ability of the establishment and the Democrats' ability to close ranks.
Yeah. They
close ranks, and that's what I respect about them. If it was a Republican,
yeah, I know,
they would oust him, and he'd be gone. It's sort of similar to how, like, when a Republican gets caught doing something racist like 25 years ago, the Republicans will just get rid of him. Right. They will oust him. They will distance themselves and make sure. The Democrats would be like,
yeah.
So,
well, look at the when Ted Cruz went to Cancun, and they just destroyed him for going to Cancun.
The Republicans.
Republicans too, but it started with Democrats.
Yeah, the Democrats. Yeah.
But Whitmer, when she went to Florida, broke her own regulations and rules.
They didn't give a crap. Nothing. They didn't give a crap. They were like, whatever.
And so it's like, sure,
they don't even follow their own rules.
No.
And the Democrats,
looking at you.
Yeah, Newsom, Whitmer, Lightfoot. They don't even follow their own rules, but as soon as it was such a big thing when Ted Cruz went to Cancun, here's the thing. I guess it looked bad, but the thing is that it's not like he represents Texas, but on the federal level.
Yeah.
It's not like he's a local politician. He's a senator. If he was like a mayor or a governor or like, somebody local, optically it doesn't look good.
No.
But like when you look at it, This guy is a federal representative of the state.
Yeah.
And
I don't necessarily agree with his decision to go.
Oh, yeah, I don't either, but like...
It's just the hypocrisy of the situation.
Yeah.
Like, what? The other point to that, too, and then I'll let you finish yours, but like, the fact that AOC, and I know this is completely off topic, but I have to say it, the fact that she like railed Ted Cruz and raised like $1 million or something like that, but then recently just posted about like, oh, my poor grandmother in Puerto Rico and all these Puerto Ricans. Why didn't you raise money for them?
Yeah.
Why didn't you raise $1 million for them?
That just shows you that whole thing was a grandstand to get for, like a political.
100%.
I mean, credit to her for raising that money.
I'm glad she did, but
like that just shows you that was a 100% grandstand and virtue signal to take a swipe at Ted Cruz when she could have been in Puerto Rico. I mean, she's Puerto Rican, right? Or she has Puerto Rican heritage. Why hasn't she been in Puerto Rico to raise money for the relief there?
Even if she can't travel because of COVID or whatever, she's...
I mean, she doesn't have to go to... She didn't...
You don't have to physically be there to see, like...
Yeah,
oh,
she could...
my grandmother's roof is caving in. I understand her grandmother had another place to go. She was talking about other Puerto Ricans who didn't have that option.
If her mother can up and leave New York to go to freaking Florida, her grandmother could do the same thing. Or she can do the same thing for her grandmother. And it's so crazy. Her mother left New York because of the taxes. Like her daughter was a representative, is a representative of New York. And her mother left New York because the taxes were too high.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. But that just shows you how much of a fraud they are.
Yeah.
We are getting off topic.
We are way getting off topic.
But yeah, this whole thing with Fauci, like some of the emails were just is crazy, damning. One of them, I think, were along the lines of there were a bunch of reputable doctors that were telling him like, these lockdowns are bad, these lockdowns don't work. They were telling him, the masks are,
He was saying the masks are ineffective. Yeah, mostly ineffective. It might help against a couple droplets. And it's like, oof.
Yeah, he's such a fraud.
He is.
And now he's telling people to wear 2 masks and double masks and triple masks, even when
indication that 2 masks works. Still wear 2 masks.
This little raspy voice, that little rat-faced bastard.
Ratchy. But there was another. I was talking about those like someone. I can't remember. It was a lengthy email, but they documented like all this information, sent it, and it was probably like a 2-page long email giving him some pretty critical information, and he just responded like, "This is too long for me to read." Like,
yeah, I mean, and he does it. I'm sure he read it. The thing is that he does that on purpose, and he does it to cover his butt because. He's like, oh, I get 10,000 emails a day. I can't read them all, which is a valid point. And I can see why, he probably wouldn't read a lot of them. But like,
he doesn't have an assistant?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he does. But
I mean, you're that important to, you're leading the country through this national crisis. That you put people in.
Yeah, he should have some kind of assistant to help him out with some of these emails. Like I said, a lot of reputable doctors were telling him, giving him advice on how to handle it. Yeah. And it turns out their advice would have been good, but he just refused to take it.
But you know who he took the time to respond to? Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, yeah. Mark, because those are
get his message out and like they can collaborate.
Well, they were in cahoots with this whole thing. Yeah. They love this whole idea of a lockdown. They had to stay on message. So there was communication between him, Zuckerberg. I'm sure there was a lot of communication between him and the mainstream media. This guy was on all kinds of interviews. They were treating him like he was just God sent. And like I said, they have to stay on message. And they're panicking right now because, like, if this thing turns out, I think they're saying, oh, we need to do an investigation. We need to do an investigation. Anytime I hear about them doing an investigation, I interpret that as being them doing cleanup.
Absolutely.
They are doing cleanup. There's not...
Same with Cuomo. It's like, oh, we're going to have an investigation. No, you're not. You're
doing cleanup.
No,
you're trying to cover your tracks.
Yeah,
There's not an investigation. You're trying to cover up tracks.
They are more concerned with the January 6th insurrection investigation than they are about a pandemic.
Yeah, there's no committee in Congress asking about an investigation for the pandemic.
No.
There's no, they might have them coming in every now and then, like the doctors and Fauci come in every now and then, and the CDC coming in every now and then. But there's no real investigation on, there needs to be an investigation on this whole thing with China and their willingness to do this gain of function gain of function research. Yeah. My thing was, like I was alluding to earlier with Trump and his whole bad judgment.
Right.
When they started the gain of function, or when they, we started funding, the whole funding began with the Obama administration. And when they were doing the research, they were doing crazy things and I think Rand Paul was talking about this the other day, how they were pumping up SARS full of steroids, making it 10 times stronger than what it is. And the Obama administration were like, hold on.
Yeah.
This stuff is too dangerous. We got to put a stop to this.
Credit to Obama.
Yeah, and they put a stop to it. But let's not kid ourselves. This is where it began.
Yeah.
Or this is where it was, it was funded under, Obama and Biden. So they shut it down. But when Trump got in, and I think this is definitely calculated. When Trump got in, Trump naively let them restart it up, because Fauci was telling Trump, oh, this is going to be great, this is good, we need to start this research again. And he should have, I'm not saying, hindsight is 20/20, but he should have had better advisors.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And
Trump needs to listen to his instincts more, because Trump knew that he should have fired Fauci.
Yeah.
But he let people get in his ear and talk at him, which I think, again, not to get too far off track, which is everybody wants to rag on DeSantis because it's the only person on his team, the only person he listens to is his wife, and it's good.
Good,
you should listen to people and advice, but you shouldn't.
Who got him this far?
Exactly. And you shouldn't look at Florida. Look how great they're doing. Sounds okay. I'm fine with that. Of course, you should take in consideration and listen to people, but not get manipulated.
I don't care. Here's the thing, man. I don't care what anybody says. Pumping up viruses to make them stronger sounds bad to me.
Sounds terrible.
It sounds bad. That automatically, my instincts automatically go, hold on, this doesn't sound good. This doesn't sound normal, because you're trying to play God, you know what I mean?
And that SARS with nature. Variant, I want to say it had a crazy between 10 and 20% mortality, fatality rate.
To begin with. To begin with. It had a 15 to 20% fatality rate to begin with. And they were pumping it up, making it 10 times stronger, Yeah. So that is something that I was just wow, this is crazy. How could they, want to continue that?
Yeah. I mean, on one hand, I understand, we want to learn and, way to prevent, but clearly we haven't learned anything from it, because with this variant getting out, COVID-19, and we still couldn't even control it. Everybody was lied to.
Yeah.
Nope, shut it down.
Well, they have to figure out. The thing about them and Fauci and them, they have to continue to figure out ways to get money.
Right.
this research is going to be great. We need to continue this research. It's vital to, the science field, and we have to make sure we do this research because it's going to help us come up with better vaccines for it. And it's just a bunch of like ways to get money and ways to make themselves feel important, Yeah. So what I was alluding to earlier, a point I was trying to make, and I got kind of off topic. Nothing is going to happen to Dr. Fauci. No. Nothing is going to happen. Because here's the thing. If they admit that Fauci is wrong, they have to, what they're doing is conceding to the fact that Trump was right. Yeah. There's no way they will allow that to happen. No. Because in this situation, there's only two options. Either Fauci was extremely incompetent, or Fauci knew he was wrong, yet still went along with the whole narrative of being against Trump, or the going along with going against Trump just for political reasons. And if it's the latter, then that's far worse than the former.
Absolutely. I could deal with somebody that was like,
we didn't know, I messed up, I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
Like you did with the AIDS epidemic, right. HIV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they give him credit for that. They give him a whole bunch of credit for that.
Yeah. Well, I bet there's a whole lot of people in heaven right now saying,
yeah. And
good. Anyway, what were you
saying? They cannot have Trump, the big buffoon, baby, small hands, small brain, bombastic, just terrible human being that Trump is, come out looking like a gold star. Yeah. They cannot have it. So they are going to do whatever it takes to protect Fauci or to soften his landing.
And not for his sake.
Not for his sake. Only for the sake of making...
If there's any chance that Trump looks good, especially if he's planning on running in 2024, then there is no chance. The worst that might happen to him is that his book deal is permanently canceled.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see about that. But what they're doing is the media is going to keep letting this thing. They're going to let this thing ride out. And they know how people are. They know people are just 100%. They have low attention span. Yeah. So I don't think anything is going to happen because Republicans are not going to do anything but grandstand and wave their little finger at Fauci and nothing. I mean, Rand Paul is, he's good at what he does as far as exposing the truth. But what's going to happen? It seemed like even when the Democrats didn't have power, they were still making things happen. Yeah. Action was being taken. They were going through extreme measures. They were ousting Republicans were getting kicked out of their committees, and because the Republicans are so weak that they didn't stand up for other Republicans when something came out. They were allowing the Republicans to lose their spots on committees. Yep. What's her name? MTG. Mm-hmm. She lost all of her committee spots. 35 Republicans voted to have this fucking bullshit, excuse my language, January 6th committee. Mm-hmm. It's like, that would have never happened if the roles were reversed. Never. You would never find 35 Democrats to start a commission on the BLM riots. You will never have anything like that. The Antifa BLM riots. 35, you must be kidding. 35 Democrats would never vote for that.
They won't. It'd be political suicide for them even if they wanted to do it.
Yeah, but Republicans, they don't care. They're just like, oh yeah, we want to have the moral high ground. That's why they suck so much.
But they're not even moral. That's what drives. It's like a facade. Ugh. You're not moral. You're not whatever. It's just a coward's way out that you take. The moral high ground would be sticking to your guns and standing up for what you believe.
They're gonna stand behind Fauci, and they're gonna make sure that Fauci nothing happens to him at the end of the day.
Yeah. I had 2 thoughts actually. So one, I can't remember his name, but do you remember the guy who was leading? Shoot, I wish I could remember his name, but he was leading like research on it, some committee, and he got death threats for saying like, oh, this could have been created in a lab. And he like literally received death threats for it, and like nothing's gonna happen. He's not gonna get any credibility back for it. What was his name? I'll look it up. And
is he a congressman?
No, he is
a doctor.
Yes, doctor. Let's see. I'm gonna look it up because it was not Fauci. I don't care about Fauci. Oh, yeah, the ex-CDC director, Redfield.
Is it the guy with the glasses?
Yes, this guy.
Yes. I remember. Yeah.
Yep. Nope, death threats from fellow scientists after saying he believed the coronavirus originated in a lab.
Yeah, because a lot of these, there's so much money in this whole thing. You know, there's so much. Oh my God, it's so corrupt.
He was threatened and ostracized because I proposed another hypothesis. Isn't that what science is about? Isn't that what science is about? Like,
yeah, I mean, shoot, they're running around saying that there's a whole bunch of different type of genders, and I thought science was always evolving, but everybody's so sensitive about this whole COVID thing that people they just go crazy.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the flat earthers way back when which philosopher was it that was like, I think the earth is round. Anyway, and all these people who were killed because they thought they said the earth is round. No, you heretic, like or that we're the center of the universe. Like,
I mean, that goes into everything, like religion and everything. They'll call you a heretic if you don't have a certain type of denomination. They will call you a heretic.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, but my second thought, I want to know where Dr. Birx is and all this, and I want to see her. Oh,
she's retired.
I want to see her emails, though.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see her correspondence.
I would like to, what do they call that? The FOIA? FOIA something? It starts with an F. How you can,
Freedom of Information Act.
Freedom of Information Act, or whatever they use to get those emails.
Yeah, I want to know what the redacted thing is. I don't know that this is true. I don't know. I haven't looked into it pretty far, but someone pointed out in a tweet that the redaction coding matches wartime redaction coding. So that's something interesting that people should look into. I don't know enough about it to say definitively. I just thought it was an interesting point.
Yeah. Well, last point before we close this out. I just want to know why Fauci is so against anybody being accusatory towards China. Why is he going so hard about you cannot be accusatory towards China? You cannot blame them for this. I think that's just the wrong way of going about things. Well, damn, when something happens, who do we blame then? Who takes responsibility?
Oh, it's just one of those natural things. It just happened.
It just happened. No,
and
he doesn't want.
Based off the mask thing alone, when he was like, "Oh no, you don't need masks," and it's like, actually, we just didn't want people to panic. So immediately, I'm like, I don't believe a single word that comes out of your mouth.
He's lost all credibility. I mean, he never had any credibility through me from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because Fauci from the beginning was just such. He's flip-flopped on so many things, like it's ridiculous. You don't even know where he stands. You have no idea where this guy stands. He's a piece of crap. He's a piece of garbage.
He is.
And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah. I'm going to leave it at, if Trump does run again, he should hire you as an advisor.
The only thing I would tell him...
Your instincts are so right all the time.
Thank you. I know I've been wrong on a few things, you know.
Yeah,
but like, I admit when I'm wrong. But like, this was so... I don't know why I just saw it so clearly. And the only thing I would advise Trump on doing was just... I would just say, trust your instincts. Everything that you have, the first feeling that comes to your gut, go with it.
Yeah.
You know, go with it. It works. It works. Your vision is what this country needed, you know. It's what it needs now.
Yeah.
Just trust your instincts. Don't worry about the Democrats. Don't worry about the MSM. Don't worry about anybody. All that noise coming from the left, just brush it off your shoulder.
Or just let DeSantis run.
Or just let, yeah. That's another topic.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're going to wrap this up. Any final thoughts or anything?
Nope, I think that about does it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for another podcast of One Patriot. I'm signing off, Burning Spear Patriot, and... I am signing off with Libby Patriot. Please like and subscribe and share this video. Much appreciated. Let us know what you think in the comments. Awesome. Peace out. Bye.